Hello, all my friends, data scientists, and data professionals working in data analysis tasks. Today, I come before you with application of pandas in statistics. What that means is I want to show you an example of with pandas, you can carry out exploratory data analysis, descriptive data analysis, descriptive statistics. So this is the first maiden attempt to complete that task. So without further ado, let's start doing that. Okay, this lesson will show you the size of the data, the distribution of the data, and the next lessons, for further lessons, will show you the shape of the data. Shape meaning how the data is clustered to the mean or spread away from the mean. How many standard deviations the data is spread away from the mean. That kind of analysis is called the shape of the data analysis, which shows the symmetry as well as skewness and kurtosis that will be dealt in the next lesson. Let's begin this lesson with computing the frequencies and cumulative frequencies that will give us the size and the distribution within each category, distribution of data within each category. So let's begin with import pandas as pd, import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. I would like to draw a couple of plots to illustrate the distribution of data. So, and matplotlib inline. Okay, so that's all we will import for this. Let me make a markdown here. Sample data, that is time spent at a doctor's clinic. Okay, this data will be about that. The observation taken in a particular day about how much time a patient spent at the doctor's clinic. Okay, that is our markdown. Let me make it a markdown. You can just make it a markdown like this. Shift enter. All right. So let me write the data then. Data equals, always write in list 12, 13, 14, these are in minutes, okay? 21, 22, 23, 15, 16, 17, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 18, 19. Okay, that is our data observation, about 16 of them. Okay, all right. Once we have the sample data, now let's create a database. So shift enter. Now create a data frame. Okay, create a data frame. So what is a data frame? That is a data in a tabular form using pandas. Okay, create a data frame, shift enter. All right. Now the data frame will be, let's call it df, data frame in a variable df, pd dot data frame, and it will be, we'll read that data that we have, and we'll specify the columns equals time. Okay, that is the column we're going to specify for that data time. All right, so close that. Say, now I will do define bins and labels. Define bins and labels. This is for the sake of creating class interval. Okay, we need to define the bins and labels. Let me make it a markdown. Markdown. Did not come something error. Markdown. Okay, so shift enter, bins and labels. Now let's define them. Bins are the upper limits of a class interval. Okay, so, and they are in the range from -infinity to +infinity, so that all the data is captured. So here minus float is a data type, comma inf, okay, comma. So here the classes we'll specify is 15, comma 19, comma 22, comma 25, comma 28, comma float. See, we had -infinity, now we have to close it with +infinity. Float inf. Okay, once we have done that, let's close the bins list. Okay, that will be our bins. Now we need labels for our class interval. So let's go for that. Labels equals, as I said, this is the class interval. We write like this: less than 15 is one class, comma 15 to 18, 16 to 19, another class, okay, comma 20 to 22, another class, comma, make sure we put those in quotes because they are categories, and 20 to 22, 15 less than 15, 16, 19, 20, 22, 23, 25, 23 to 25, comma 26 to 28. Let's make 26 to 28, 26 to 28, and greater than 28. Okay, greater than 28. Make sure that the class numbers, the labels, are one more than the bins. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. Okay, so bins and labels we specified. Now let's bin the data. Shift enter. All right, what is this? Oh, the error was because I enclosed with the curly. It should be that. It should be the brackets. Data. Okay, so let me make it a markdown. This is all systematically I am showing you step by step so that you can follow this closely even if you had no experience in data analysis. Okay, so df, and we're going to call it class interval. The column that we are creating is class interval column. Hence we have that df class interval equals pd.cut. This is a cut is a pandas method which is used in segregating the class intervals, which is used in setting a boundary of class intervals. Okay, so that is the method we're going to use, pd.cut. And this method is very useful in the numerical data. Okay, df, let's call the df, and what we're going to do, time column, we're going to segregate on the basis of the time, right? Okay, comma, we call the time in column, comma, bins equals bins, we already defined up there before this, labels equals labels, also we defined. Okay, so that will be the binning of data. If you want to see, let's see it. I want to show you the class interval created. Okay, let me just show you. df, let's shift enter. Was never closed. Okay, yeah, I never closed it. You're right, close it. Okay, now shift enter. You see, now you see this class interval created. Look, less than 15, 12, 13, 14 are less than 15. 21 is in class 20 to 22. 22 is 22, 22. 23 is 23, class 23, 25. 15 is less than 15. 16 is class 16, 19. 17 is class 16, 19. 24 is class 23, 25. All that. I see you can, we created the class interval. But our purpose is not just to show the class interval. We would like to show the frequency table. For that, I am going to continue doing frequency table. Okay, let me write that. Shift, comma, frequency table. This is what we would like to create. Okay, let me make it a markdown. Shift enter. All right, we have frequency table here. Let's create that frequency table. So how are we going to create? Call it freq table equals df call class interval. Okay, that is the column we are going to accessing, class interval dot value counts. That is a method available in pandas which counts the values within each class. Value counts, how many are there within the class. This is what we wanted to do, right? Value counts. Okay, and dot sort index. We are doing sort index to sort the data by class interval. Okay, so sort index, that method, sorting the data by the specified class interval, sort index. Okay, that is frequency table 1. Let's do now cumulative frequency. Freq equals freq table, make sure no typos, freq table that cum sum, cumulative sum. Okay, cum sum. Okay, that will give us cumulative frequency. Now let's create percent frequency because it is easier to see in percentages, right? Let's go there and say percent frequency equals, how do you calculate percent frequency? Freq table divide by freq table dot sum. We need to sum the frequency table to get the percentage, right? Sum method. Sum, okay, close it, and to express in percent, multiply by 100. Okay, that will give us the frequency table. You will see that in a table with these columns: frequency, cumulative frequency, percent frequency. Okay, shift enter. All right, you will see after I summarize that. Let me do that to summarize it. Combine into one data frame. Okay, let me make it a markdown. Shift enter. Okay, combine into one data frame. So let's go ahead and say it. Summary, that is a variable, we'll store all this. pd.cut data frame. Okay, we're going to do key value pairs. So the name we give it frequency, that is the key, and the value is freq table. You can see, make sure you write the correct name. And second is cumulative frequency. And the value is cum freq. You see these, we're writing these: frequency, cumulative frequency. Now next will be percent frequency. Percent frequency will be, what is that? Percent freq. Okay, that the percent we would like to express in 2 decimal places. So round 2. All right. So let's close the summary. Close with curly first, that, and let's print it. Print summary. You will see the table with 3 columns. Shift enter. You see, now you can see, because we use short index, the index is now the class interval, and these columns: frequency, cumulative frequency, percent frequency. So this is a tabular presentation, and we got it. We saw the distribution of data by frequency. Say for example, less than 15, there are 4 observations. 16 to 19, 4 observations. 20 to 22, 2 observations. Greater than 28, no observations. 26 to 28, 3 observations. And cumulative is adding those. 4 plus 4 is 8. Plus 2 is 10. Plus 3 is 13. Plus 3 is 16. Plus 0 is 16. So you can see there are 16 observations, and we saw the cumulative frequency, And in percentage, out of 16, 4 is 25%. Okay, this is how we can see in percentage. 4 is 25%, 2 is 12.5%, 3 is 18.75%, that kind of thing. We saw this. Now, to give it more meaning, let's create frequency table. Let's create plots. Okay, plots. So we're going to create two plots. Let me write it. Bar plots, plot, and Ogive. Ogive gives the cumulative frequency. Okay, so let me close. Let me make it a markdown. Markdown. Okay, shift enter. All right, let's go ahead and start using the matplotlib to create the plots. Okay, so start with summary. Summary. Let's call the column frequency. Okay, dot plot dot bar. We're going to call the bar plot. Okay, make bar plot. Yeah, I say incomplete because it expects this. Let me just, I was wanting to come down. Okay, this. So here, title, let's give title equals frequency distribution. Frequency distribution. Frequency distribution. Okay, comma. Color, let's specify the color, equals sky blue. That color looks good. And edge color, to give a hint of the edges of that class interval, black. Okay, there will be those edges with black labels. And once we have that, let's, okay, now plt.x label, specify that as well, class interval. Okay, x label is class interval. plt.y label is going to be frequency. Okay, plt.xticks, the ticks are for marking the class interval in the x-axis. We would like them rotating 45 degrees. Okay, rotation equals 45 degrees. And plt.tight layout, plt.tight layout, and plt.show, plt.show. Okay, so this is the plot, bar plot. Shift enter and let's see. You see, we got a beautiful bar plot, frequency distribution, x label marked. You see those rotation 45 degrees? So frequency distribution. This is how we create bar plot. Now let's create Ogive. Okay, which this shows you frequency distribution. Ogive will show you the cumulative frequency. Okay, so summary. Oh, let's access the column cumulative frequency. because that's the column we want to show in the Ogive dot plot. Okay, plot. Let's close it and let's do our thing. Title equals Ogive, which is cumulative frequency, okay, that, comma, marker, we need marker, or let's make O marker, and line style, let's make it dash equals dash, comma, color, let's give it a color equals, let's make it green color, okay, which looks good. Now let's do the PLT thing. PLT dot X label, going to put the label class interval, PLT Y label, PLT dot Y label, cumulative frequency, and PLT dot X ticks, rotation 45 equals 45 degrees. PLT grid, PLT dot grid will show the plot within the, there will be grids within the plot through, and PLT dot tight layout, PLT dot show. Okay, so this should give us the Ogive. Let's run it. So the error that we encountered was this typo. Instead of frequency, we have frequency. Let's put the Q, frequency dot plot. Once we cure that, here you go. Now you can see we clearly can show the distribution of data. Say under less than or equal to 15 class, we have 4 observations. 16 to 19, up when we get up to 16 to 19, we had 8 observations. This is the meaning of Ogive. It gives you cumulative. When we come to the class 2022, we have 10 observations. When we come to the class 23-25, we have 13 observations. When we come to 16-28, we have 16 observations, and greater than 28, same, remain 16 because there is no observation after 28. So this is how I am able to show you the data distribution. So that's all I wanted to show to you today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Keep trying, practicing these methods. In the future lessons, I will show you the aforementioned methods of histogram, the shape of the distribution of this data. So please subscribe to my channel. Stay tuned for more data analysis, statistics, and all that advanced data exploration as well as analysis. For more of that, please subscribe to my channel. Stay tuned. Subscribe to my channel. Bye bye for now.